Big news is breaking today, and if you care about the future of women's basketball, you are going to want to hear every single detail. Stick around till the end, because we are covering all the angles and reactions on this one. Let's get right into it. Everything we thought we understood about professional basketball might be about to change. 4 months now, the story surrounding Caitlin Clark has been framed as jealousy and locker room drama. But while some WNBA veterans were focused on testing the rookie physically, a much bigger player was reportedly watching from the sidelines, and it wasn't another team. This isn't a shoe sponsorship or an endorsement deal we're talking about. According to recent chatter, there's talk of a Saudi-backed basketball venture that could be entering the picture with serious financial backing behind it, possibly in the billion-dollar range. The claim making rounds is that Saudi investment interests are looking closely at women's basketball, with 2 names reportedly on their radar, Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. Pairing a generational scorer with one of the most recognizable personalities in the sport would, on paper, create a rival product that a traditional league would struggle to compete with. The warning that's been floating around media circles is straightforward. If a league doesn't take care of its biggest draw, someone else eventually will step in and make an offer. Whether or not that offer is actually landed is still unconfirmed. But the fact that the conversation is happening at all says something. To understand why this rumor has gained traction, it helps to look at who has been amplifying the underlying complaints for months. Commentary around Clark's treatment has been loud and persistent. Critics have pointed to hard fouls, a lack of protection from officials, and her exclusion from certain high-profile rosters as signs that the league has mishandled its most marketable rookie in years. The tone has shifted from simple critique to something closer to a warning. Markets tend to correct themselves eventually. A global-level draw earning a fraction of her actual market value isn't a sustainable arrangement forever. Some argue the old guard assumed a rookie would simply wait her turn, without accounting for the fact that in today's sports landscape, star players increasingly hold the leverage. Now, let's talk numbers, because this is where the frustration really comes from. The WNBA operates under a tight salary cap. Clark's rookie contract runs around $338,000 over 4 years, which breaks down to roughly $76,000 in year one. For comparison, that's close to what some NBA bench players earn in a single week. The league's usual defense is that it has operated at a loss for close to 3 decades and simply doesn't have the revenue to pay more. But here's the wrinkle. In just a few months, Clark's presence appears to have moved the needle in a major way. Attendance numbers climbed, television ratings reportedly hit levels not seen in years, and merchandise sales spiked. She's been credited with driving real revenue growth, while her paycheck stayed roughly flat. This is exactly the kind of gap that outside investors tend to notice. When a fund with billions rather than millions to deploy looks at a player like Clark, they're not seeing a rookie who has to pay her dues. They're seeing an asset that's dramatically underpriced relative to her actual value. If the reported billion-dollar figure holds any truth, we're not talking about a salary bump. We're talking about a complete change in career trajectory with upfront money that could dwarf what she'd earn over a full WNBA career. And this wouldn't just be about one player getting a bigger paycheck. It would follow a pattern we've already seen play out in another sport. Remember what happened with golf. For decades, one tour dominated, controlling players' purses and schedules. Then outside investment arrived, and instead of trying to build alongside the existing tour, it simply offered top players enormous guaranteed money to switch. There was plenty of backlash and accusations of using sports to improve public image. But once enough top players took the money, the old tour eventually had to negotiate a merger. Some analysts believe a similar playbook could be applied to women's basketball, especially given ongoing complaints about pay, travel conditions, and player treatment. Losing a player like Clark would hit differently than losing any other single star, simply because so much of the league's current momentum is tied directly to her popularity. A rival venture built around her would instantly have relevance on a global scale. But a single star doesn't build a league on their own. You need a supporting cast with its own draw. That's reportedly where Sophie Cunningham comes in. Why her specifically, rather than other veteran all-stars? The simplest explanation is marketability. Cunningham has built a large, engaged following through her personality and her willingness to be direct and relatable online. She has the kind of presence that translates well to sponsors and social media. And pairing her with Clark will combine a generational talent with a built-in audience, which is exactly the formula a brand new league would need to launch successfully. Now, why would Clark even entertain the idea of leaving a league she reportedly dreamed of playing in? Part of the answer may lie in how her rookie season actually played out. Even before she was drafted, veteran players publicly cautioned her about what awaited. Once the games began, she faced physical treatment that many felt went beyond normal competitive contact, including a hip check incident that drew widespread criticism for not being penalized more severely. Critics have asked pointedly why her own teammates and the league office didn't do more to protect her. In an environment like that, having leverage or an alternative starts to look appealing. This also isn't the first time outside money has tried to pull her away from the WNBA. Reportedly, a 3-on-3 exhibition league once offered her several $1 million to play in just a handful of games, more than her entire rookie WNBA salary. She turned it down at the time because she wanted to prove herself in the WNBA and chase a championship. But that was before this season's treatment became a talking point. If the rumored Saudi-backed offer is real, it would reportedly dwarf that earlier proposal, and unlike a one-off exhibition, it would function as a full replacement league, fewer games, premium travel, no salary cap, and none of the structural complaints players have voiced for years. Think about the position this puts WNBA leadership in. The league is reportedly in the middle of negotiating a major new media rights deal with several networks, and a large part of that pitch reportedly leans on the ratings and attendance growth tied directly to Clark's rookie season. If she were to leave for a rival venture, that leverage largely disappears, and the media deal the league is counting on could shrink significantly. That would affect revenue sharing for every player in the league, including the same veterans who were accused of not welcoming her. Let's also address the obvious criticism that tends to follow stories like this. Whenever Saudi-backed investment enters a sport, there's usually pushback around ethics and so-called sports washing. We saw it in golf, we've seen it in soccer, but historically, that outrage tends to fade within months once the games start and fans keep watching. And for athletes, especially in a league where pay has lagged behind popularity for years, it's hard to blame anyone for choosing financial security when it's offered. If this reported partnership between Clark and Cunningham were to happen, some believe the format wouldn't even look like a traditional league with city franchises. Instead, picture something closer to a global tour model, similar to golf or tennis, with events in major cities around the world built around star power rather than a long regular season. One more detail worth mentioning: nobody involved is directly denied any of this. Typically, when rumors like this circulate, camps move quickly to shut them down. The silence here has only fueled more speculation, though it's worth remembering that until something is officially confirmed, this remains speculation and should be treated as such. Bottom line, whether or not the specific deal ends up being real, it highlights a real tension in women's basketball right now, a league growing quickly thanks to a handful of breakout stars, while pay structures haven't caught up. If existing leagues don't close that gap, this kind of outside interest may keep showing up. So here's the real question for you. If a rival, better-paying league ever became a real option, would you stick with the WNBA, or would you follow the stars? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoy breaking this down with us, consider joining the Hoops Insider community. We're building toward our first 1,000 subscribers and would love to have you along for the ride. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.